Hello and welcome. I am Gimba Umar. Tonight, President Muhammadu Buhari absent from Federal Executive Council meeting. Information Minister says the president is working from home. Nigeria seeks about 7 billion naira loan from China to finance railway projects and the reconstruction of the Northeast. House of Representatives summons the Inspector General of Police over what it calls unwarranted invasion of citizens' residence. The United States says THAAD deployment is to bring North Korea to its senses.
And in business news tonight, Naira eases to 378.54 against the dollar as trading on the new forex window for investors and exporters enters second day.
On sports news, Nigeria's Rivers United to face FCS Rabat, Club Africain and Kampala CCA of Uganda in the group stage of the 2017 Confederation Cup.
And from Abuja, court orders temporary forfeiture of $5.9 million belonging to Patience Jonathan, wife of former president.
We begin tonight with the Federal Executive Council meeting in Abuja, where the absence of the president was again recorded for a second time this month. The Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, who briefed State House correspondents after the meeting, explained that there is nothing unusual about the president's absence, as he needed more time to rest. Today's meeting was presided over by the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo. Our correspondent, Gloria Umezweke, reports.
The Vice President's arrival to the Federal Executive Council weekly meeting gave nothing unusual away until the message came. The President has been absent for the third week in a row. It is also observed that few ministers attended today's cabinet meeting. The Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, explained that the President's absence is to enable him more rest.
We just concluded the President's Council meeting. I said, of course, you noticed that the President was not there. He was not there because he actually sent word that he wanted to rest today, and he asked the VP to preside over today's meeting. In addition, he also asked that all his files be taken home to him and will be working from home today.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Health says the federal government will go into a joint partnership with a private firm to start local production of vaccines from the Yaba Vaccines Laboratory, which was abandoned since 1991.
A memo is coming to FEC in respect of this. It's also important to note that we are talking to some other companies. Some other people have shown interest so that we can start putting into place a mechanism for local production of vaccines. And also, in keeping with our commitment to global health protection, that we should produce our vaccines locally, especially those ones that for diseases that are prevalent.
The Health Minister also gave an update on the meningitis outbreak, noting that the disease burden is beginning to reduce in the wake of several interventions by the government.
As of yesterday, 24th, the number of deaths stood at 813. About 2 weeks ago, rain started in this area. With onset of rain, we expect that the cases will drop. Dry season allows droplets and the bacteria to be easily moved around.
The Minister of Transportation, Mr. Rotimi Amechi, says Council made some approvals for the maritime sector, including the purchase of 56 vehicles for the Nigerian Immigration Service. This meeting, which lasted 2.5 hours, might be considered a short meeting, going by the length of time usually spent whenever the President presides over the Federal Executive Council meeting. Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has written to both chambers of the House of Representatives seeking approval for a $6.926 billion loan by the federal government. The letter was read in both chambers of the National Assembly by the Senate President in the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. According to the President, $5.851 billion of the loan will be from the China Exim Bank for major railway projects across the country. while $1.75 billion will be provided by the World Bank for procurement of polio vaccines, reconstruction and rehabilitation of the northeastern part of the country.
Given the current state of our economy and the need to urgently address some of our infrastructure deficiencies in order to quickly improve the livelihood of our people, it has become imperative that we work together in an expeditious way to get our economy out of recession and back to growth. Honourable members, an expeditious consideration and approval of this request will go a long way in bringing stability to the Northeast, an improvement in our infrastructure, and by extension, a general improvement in the economy and livelihood of our great people. In view of the above, the honourable members are invited to urgently consider and approve all the above projects totaling a sum of $6.926 billion to enable us commence the reconstruction and rehabilitation of the Northeast, provide for the poor and most vulnerable people, and commence the rail projects in earnest. I believe your early approval will lead to a quick recovery of our economy and return it to a path of growth.
In the meantime, the chairman, Senate Committee on Appropriations, Senator Danjuma Goje, says the policemen who raided his house 5 days ago carted away documents containing the 2017 budget. Senator Goje says that the seizure of the documents has contributed to the delay in the passage of the 2017 budget. Our correspondent, Linda Akibe, reports.
On Friday, April 20th, a team of policemen raided the home of the chairman, Senate Committee on Appropriation, Senator Danjuma Goje. The police purportedly acted on a tip-off by a whistleblower. Days after the police raid, Senator Danjuma Goje brings the matter up at Wednesday's legislative proceedings. He also explains that the police carted away some sensitive documents, such as the reports of a 2017 budget.
They took my laptop, and to make matters worse, they took 18 files from my office. As I told you, we are holding the meeting on the budget on Thursday. So from Thursday to now, we will not be able to meet because some of the papers are not around. We could not keep to the timetable you gave us to lay the budget yesterday to get it passed today. And I think it is not our own fault. It is the fault of the police. The police interfered with the whole budget process.
Senate President Bukola Saraki expressed concern that 5 days after the raid of the home of Senator Danjuma Goje, the police has not informed the senator why his home was raided and documents seized.
Informally, the chairman of the police committee told me this morning that the police are saying that it is something to do with whistleblower. If it is to do with whistleblower, then and that the whistleblower misled them. So if the whistleblower misled them, I think, and that this matter can be, I think, a matter that has come up publicly like this to embarrass a senator, I think the police owe it not only to him, to the entire country, to the process of a civilized society to come up and accept responsibility.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has resolved to summon the Inspector General of Police over the raid on the home of Senator Danjuma Goje. The House reached this resolution after a debate on a motion raised by a lawmaker calling on the House to check the excesses of security agents. The House called on Inspector General of Police to return all the documents relating to the 2017 budget which the police seized from Senator Goje's home. However, as if the Inspector General of Police got wind of his summon by the House of Representatives, the police boss paid a visit to the leadership of the Senate after plenary. Nevertheless, the two chambers have set up ad hoc committees to ascertain the reason for the raid and the whereabouts of some of the 2017 budget documents. Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
The House of Representatives has directed its Committee on Public Safety and Intelligence to investigate the large sums of money recovered by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, from a luxury apartment at Osborne Road in Ikoyi, Lagos, to know the source and actual owners of the funds. This resolution followed a motion by Representative Babatunde Kolawole on the matter, which he says has had a damaging effect on the anti-corruption drive of the federal government. The House has given the committee 2 weeks to investigate the matter and report back to the House.
Aware that there have been counterclaims on the actual ownership of the money suspected to be proceeds of crime or intended for money laundering or electioneering purposes. Also aware that the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, NIA, Ambassador Yedele Oke, claimed that the money belongs to the NIA and was approved by the previous administration for covert operations of the NIA. Cognizance of the need for a thorough investigation of the matter in order to ascertain the source of the money, given the claims on its ownership and purpose, and also the damaging effects it is having on the anti-corruption drive of the government.
Reports from Borno State say that at least 5 people have been killed and 11 injured in 3 separate suicide attacks in Maiduguri, the state capital. The spokesperson for NEMA in the northeast, Abdul Qadir Ibrahim, who confirmed the incident, says that 4 suicide bombers and a member of the civilian JTF died in the incident. The areas affected are Muna Usmanti, Muna Garaj and Muna Ethiopia. Meanwhile, the injured persons have been taken to the General Hospital in Maiduguri, and response agencies at the scene of the attack have rendered it safe. Today's attack adds to the list of attacks that have rocked the northeastern part of the country in the last couple of weeks, especially Borno State. Members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, as well as some members of the civil society organization in Abuja, have taken to the streets in a protest to mark the 500 days of the leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, who is in detention. The protesters set barricade to the entrance of the National Assembly, calling on federal lawmakers to intervene and release their leader. They are also asking the federal government to compensate their members who lost property during the December 2015 clash with the army.
Under very tight security, members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, as well as some members of the civil society organizations, converge on the Unity Fountain in Abuja for a special procession to mark the 500 days of their leader in detention. The group is calling for an unconditional release of their leader and his wife, who they say has remained in detention even after the court ordered his release.
The federal government should obey the court order. The order that told them to release Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky and his wife and the rest of the Muslim brothers that are in their custodies.
But this is not the only demand the group is making.
The Sheikh must be released, should be released without any condition, and that the corpses of our brothers and sisters and sons and daughters that were killed on 12 to 14 December 2015 should be released to us for Islamic burial, and that a proper panel of inquiry should be set in order to ascertain what really happened on that particular day, and that we should be given full compensation of all our facilities that were destroyed.
Next, they file into the street under strict security watch, singing solidarity songs as they head towards the National Assembly. At the entrance of the National Assembly, heavy presence of security men stopped the group from going further. Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky was arrested and detained in December 2016 after members of his group had a bloody clash with the Nigerian army in Zaria, Kaduna State.
In part 2, after the break, the president has assured that From now on, terrorism and clashes between farmers and herdsmen will be a thing of the past. We have that story coming up after now. Do stay with us.